So we're going to start working on the bump map, and I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect this roughness map just so we can focus on just what the bump map is doing and nothing else for now. I'll go ahead and throw in a bump node, and we'll go ahead and plug this into the height, and then we'll plug this into the normal, and we'll go ahead and look at it there. So there's a bump map. So the bump map is going to be very, very similar to our normal map. I'm going to set this to something like 0.1 on the distance, maybe a little bit lower, maybe like 0.05. And you see, just by throwing that in there, we're getting a pretty good result. Just getting some bump details. So a lot of those micro height information. The problem with this though is that it's going to be very, very uniform. So essentially what we'd want to do here is just tweak this until we get a good result. And I'm going to do like something like 0.01. So that's looking pretty good. You know, we're getting those nice cracks in the middle. We can go ahead and throw in a ramp as well. So I'll do search. I'll do Shift A, search, ramp, throw that down. And then we can play with this. So we can crunch those blacks a little bit, trying to kind of get more of those. We can crunch the whites. I think out of the box, you know, the result that we were getting is going to be pretty decent. This is going to be an inverted. So I'm going to leave it somewhere right where we left off. And if we want to adjust kind of like the gray value to kind of push and pull the micro details and the macro details, we can simply click this little plus icon right here and then go up and down on this like this. So you can see as we push that gray value, there's bigger, darker areas are going to show more, but then the micro details are going to show less, which is what we're looking for here. And we can always bring this black value up as well to kind of counter that a little bit. So that's looking pretty good. And now we can essentially look at all of them together. So we got our bump map, we have our roughness map going into roughness, and then we have our color map here going into color. And then we want to make sure that this is just set to sRGB, looking pretty good. So it's a little shiny at the moment. It's a little bit too wax. So we always have this specular option down here. So we can tone down specular, which is the overall reflection, something like that. It's pretty decent. And again, it's going to be less reflective because it has the way the reflection works is the more you see it at a glancing angle, the hotter the reflection is going to be. So not too bad. And we can always kind of come back here and play with that roughness and everything if we want to tone that down a little bit. That's going to be pretty good. I'm going to leave it off right there with that. Maybe we can make the reflection a little bit sharper so we can essentially get this closer to black on both the whites and the darks. Something like that helps make it feel a little bit more finished. Again, this is all being tweaked to eye, so it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. Once we get this in the actual shot, we can always tweak it more. And then we just want to set this up so that we can tile it. So we're going to throw in a mapping node. And then we're going to do a UV. And now we essentially can just run it through tiling like that. So if we want more wood or less wood, we can simply just go up and down on this like that. Great, and we'll wrap it up right there.